Welcome to Twinset and Purl's Knitting Podcast. Today we're talking about all of our acquisitions from the last 2 weeks. Since episode 13. Yeah, we've been to 2 yarn shows and we've also had a little shop in the drop sale from Woolwarehouse.
Yes. So this is all about the acquisitions. So it's like little bit of a bonus episode.
Yeah. So we've just recorded
episode 14,
which was about our usual episode, RFOs, what we're wearing, whips and all that. And then we've decided to do this as a separate podcast because there's quite a lot to share, and we know that some people don't like to see all the acquisitions. But if you are interested in acquisitions,
this is the bonus episode.
This is a bonus episode.
So I'm Rachel. If this is your first time watching us, it's probably not the best episode to start watching. We've got a few others. We're quite new though to podcasting. So I'm Rachel.
And I'm Jo.
And we're twins, and we knit, we design. Well, we talk to each other every day, and with each other a lot, and we design together as Twinset and Purl. So we're Twinset and Purl.
We started podcasting earlier in the year.
Yeah. To talk about our new designs mainly.
Yeah.
Didn't we? But we're enjoying it, so we're keeping going. So this is obviously all about the shows. So we're going to start actually with what we bought from Drops, because that's what arrived first. So we'd had a bit of after we talked about our Cal, we thought about all the Drops yarn we could buy. So do you want to go first, or shall I go first? Don't know. So I ordered some. So Nord is their sock yarn, alpaca and wool and nylon, polyamide, so you can knit socks with it. It's 4-ply. And it's 170 meters per 50 grams, so it's slightly thicker. And they say to knit it on 3mm needles, but for socks I never do that. So I bought these 3 colours because I was thinking of a design.
Have you knit many socks in Nord?
I have. I've knitted a few pairs. I like it. I wouldn't say I don't know how hard wearing it is. I don't wear my socks. I've got so many socks that they're in rotation that I've never worn a pair out. But if you wore them around the house, I think the alpaca, if you wore them around the house without slippers, the alpaca wouldn't necessarily hold up. But I bought these 3 colours. I had a design in mind, which now I'm thinking isn't probably going to work, but they might become stripy socks or something else. Who knows? It's very soft yarn and you can use it for other things. I've knitted sweaters in it. It's fine. So this is peacock, heather, I think, or peacock. No, I'm not sure. I'm like blue grey and then light grey. But I'll put all the numbers and information down below. That's colour 9, that's colour 16, and that's colour 3 from Nord. And then I got some Flora, which is not sock yarn because it doesn't have any nylon, but it's 65% wool and 35% alpaca. And
it's very nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It blocks
and shawls
absolutely beautifully, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I got those 2 to do a colourwork cowl, which I've now changed my mind about. And my father-in-law wants this. I've got 2 of each. He wants a Musselburgh hat in this, and he's got a big head. So we're hoping it's going to last. If it doesn't, it may have a little bit of something inside, so he knows which is the right.
And I'm going to show you something later on which might need this.
Oh right, that's all right then.
We'll see.
Yeah. So, and that's colour 21 and colour 18. So I think they are just red and light pink or something. So that's that. And then I got a sweater quantity of this colour from Flora, which is
Oh, I love that colour.
Like a sea green.
I knit my
Harbourside
in that.
And this is colour 23. So that's what I got from Drops. Did you get Drops and other stuff?
I got some Drops brushed alpaca silk.
I thought you got 2 colours.
I did.
Oh.
I got this sort of jade. I wanted like a forest green.
Do you think there's like a theme?
I wanted like
my colour palette at the moment.
I wanted a forest green. This was the closest to it.
It's beautiful
and I've
though
got
for a Christmas sweater.
I've got some woolly knit British
in green.
merino in green, a cone of that in fingering, which I'm going to put together and to knit a sweater.
Not a lento.
I don't know yet. And then I got this, so that's number 11. And then I got this sort of grey brown I don't know, it's like teddy bear.
Yeah.
In the same yarn to knit a Felix.
And that's colour.
And that is colour 3.
So that's one of the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be just on its own to knit a Felix.
Cool. And then I've been wanting to try, I've used a lot of the Scheepjes whirls, but this is a woolly whirl. So it's...
Doesn't look very woolly.
I know, it's 70% cotton, 30% wool. And this is the bubblegum centre colourway. And then this one is bubblegum in a woolly whirlette. So I thought somehow...
Bubblegum?
Yeah. I thought somehow I could...
Bubblegum about it?
I don't know. I don't know, Joe. I can't tell you the name. I can't tell you why they named the colours. But that's what it says on the label. So this is colour 573, which is bubblegum. And this is colour 477, which is bubblegum centre. And all that information will be down below. They have a lot of meterage. So this is 1,000 metres.
Wow.
And this has 455. So I'm going to try and work out if I can start here and do my yoke. Will I get to the sleeves where I could just do that as the sleeves and it would just be...
Why would you want that on the body though?
I don't know. I'm not sure whether to stripe it. Start there and stripe with that.
I think so.
Okay. So I might actually do a colour work. Do that as colour work. But then I need that for the sleeves. So I could...
No, because you could use this for the sleeves.
No, but there's not enough for the sleeves to look the same.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So I probably
But
should
you wouldn't need all of that for the colour work.
No, and I probably should have got 2 of those. Although I could probably get 2 sleeves out of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever I do with it. I wanted it to be a sweater, but it might end up being... There's a shrug pattern by Scheepjes. It's a crochet that I've crocheted 4 times. And I do love it. So I might end up just making one of those with it.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's the Scheepjes stuff. And you got 2 more things.
So this was from...
Oxford Yarn
Oxford
Store.
Yarn Store.
I think you have shown that.
Have I? Maybe. If I have, apologies. But it's Isaiah mohair, and it's in this. It's got like a dark core and a lighter tan fluff. It's number 75, and I'm planning to knit a Morton Street cowl in that. And then I also got from Woolwarehouse, Chester Wool Co. Sheila's Gold Zebra sock, and I'm planning to use this with some yarn that we got a while ago from
the
Loves Crafts, and I'm going to combine this with some different coloured mohair in the yoke of my Easy V
by Caitlin Hunter.
Who's
Boylan Knitworks on Instagram.
Yeah. So she uses Spin Cycle in three different colours, and I'm going to use this with 3 different colour mohairs.
Brilliant. Good idea.
To give a tone.
What kind of colours are you thinking?
I'm thinking so the main body of the sweater that I've got is a creamy oatmeal colour. So I'm thinking maybe a tan, a pink, and an aqua, or something like
got
that.
Them? Not yet.
I've got some left over from project I did where it got yarn support from La BNMA.
Oh wow!
So I'm hoping.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. I don't think you need that much, are you?
No.
Cool. So that's our drop. That was our Woolwarehouse acquisition haul, and then we went to the Southern Wool Show.
So that was last Saturday.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling very well.
The year before, we'd gone and worked at on the Bird Street.
Yeah, both. So we were there for both days.
And we absolutely loved it.
I know, we had a great time.
Didn't like it so much this year. Just felt, I think maybe because we'd been to the Summer Wool Festival fairly recently and it's run by the same people.
Yeah, it was a bit samey, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the highlight of the show for me was where I bought my yarn from. So I bought from Bird Street Yarn and Yellow Van Yarns, and I
bought
it.
Bird Street, and I can't remember the name of the
store
where I got that. But anyway.
So we'll show you now what we bought, and other people we've heard of thoroughly enjoyed it, so don't be put off by us. I feel a bit bad now.
It was nice. We met some friends.
Oh yeah, we met friends there. I met my testers, and we bumped into we didn't talk about the podcast either on the other episode. We bumped into Wool and Wishes at the Bird Street. They were filming a bit because we're rubbish. We don't vlog or film our trip when we go away and go out because we forget to do it basically. But they were there on the Bird Street. Yeah, it's lovely to meet them. If you can check out their podcast, they're kind of new. They've done 8 episodes now. They do seem a tad more professional than us, but they are lovely. And the episode 8 was. I thoroughly enjoyed episode 8 and their haul and they gave us a mention as well. So because we bumped into them, that's nice. Whoops. Joe's just had a catastrophe. So I'll talk about what I bought from the Southern, which wasn't very much. So I told you I loved Yellow Van Yarns, Wendy. She was a lovely lady. And this was in her bargain bin. And I don't even know the colourway, but I'm going to knit my dad a pair of socks in it because it's just beautiful kind of his kind of colours. So that'll be for Dad. And then I picked up this 100% BFL. Speckles are amazing in the Rock Pools pale pink colourway. And it's probably going to become a pair of socks. Although I did do something this week. You may have noticed that I hadn't talked about my Brio shoreline for very much. I actually frogged it this week and the Suri matches this exactly. So it might become a monsoon season.
Ooh.
Or something like that, but it is beautiful. And look at the speckles, you can't really. So check out Yellow Van Yarns. Says hand dyed in Hampshire. We will put her down below, and that was lovely. And have you literally got Bird Street? Or if I talk about my Bird Street, then you can talk about your Bird Street and then talk about that.
Yeah.
So I knew that I wanted this skein before I even went, and it's called Do You Think He Saw Us? And John and Claire had it they had a project bag with dinosaurs on, which I didn't want. I wanted it, but I'm not allowed to buy project bags. And you will see that failed. Did I buy a project bag? I don't think I did. Oh, I did, a mini one, a notions pack. Right, so this is Bird Street yarn in the Do You Think He Saw Us colourway, and it is amazing. And they had a sock that Claire had cranked on the sock machine, and it just looks amazing. So they will be socks, so probably just vanilla socks because it's so beautiful at some point. Which leads us on to your Bird Street yarn.
Yeah, so I saw this and it was just had my heart. So it's their Beaujolais colourway, and I got it in 4-ply and also in their Cloud, which is their Suri lace. And my plan for that is to put it together and knit a Loretta Road cowl.
A DK weight.
Yeah, a DK weight.
Beautiful.
And that's going to be, I'm hoping there's going to be enough too.
There should be.
Yeah. One for me and one for a gift.
That's the colourway that I knitted the Duke socks in.
Yeah. So I got that. And then I also got this one, which is a Rhapsody Cloud.
Which is that would make a lovely
one.
one.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that Flora, pink Flora,
Oh yeah.
with that.
Let's have a quick look, shall we? Ooh.
Might make a nice.
You want
gift.
those then, do you?
Well, if haven't got a plan for them.
I haven't got a plan for them. You can have them.
So I think that would make a nice gift.
Because I'm thinking about this colourwork cowl, and I keep going places and finding a new combo. So at the next place, I did find something.
So I've got two people to.
So you can do different colours for them now.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
yeah. And then
When are you going to knit all these cowls, Jo?
Well, hopefully they're very quick because the Loretto Road only takes.
Oh, so you can do it while you're there, almost on the plane.
Well, I was just thinking, if I can get the other one finished this week, then I've still got 2 weeks,
Okay,
haven't I?
I think so.
Just over 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks. So hopefully. And then I also got this yarn, which is Cormo Silk 4-ply, 400 metres. Undyed. I bought 2 for a shawl. I can't remember the stand I got it from.
No.
But
You
it's
actually
beautiful
bought that one. You went off and bought that one.
Yeah, and it was £8 a hank.
Wow.
And it's beautiful. So yeah,
You feel? Yeah, very soft.
so I'm going to knit a shawl in that.
And I bought some stitch markers from All's Wool, the Ends Wool, and I've taken them off. I'm using them already, so I've taken them off there. They're very similar to the F&B Ringos, if you've ever seen those, which I did buy from. So these were grey with a rainbow of beads. So I was like, I think there's 8 in a packet, and then I bought the little sock ones, which were black with neon kind of rainbow. And they're really lovely, and the people on that stand were just lovely, and they had rainbow yarn. Everything's pretty much rainbows, but beautiful stuff. So check them out. We'll link them below.
And then I got some stitch markers from Adventures in Yarn Craft.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And they're like the polymer clay, and they've got a bit of gold on them.
Are they Progress Keepers or?
They're stitch markers. They're very, she does Progress Keepers in that shape, and I actually thought they were Progress Keepers, but I didn't pay enough attention. But I really love them.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
I might even put them on a light bulb
and just hang them,
pin
them to things. Yeah.
I'm not one for massive dangly stitch markers, to be honest.
But they are big, so if you're on a big project, it's not as bad, is it?
So I really like those. And then I found these, which are by Lily Put White, beach combed stitch markers. So they're little bits of glass.
They're beautiful.
That have been found on the beach.
And we talked to her again more, didn't we, at this one, at the Unravel.
So she makes
she was
necklaces.
Well, she was saying that friends like find stuff and give her little baggies of glass and things they found. So
she says on the back, all of the sea glass and driftwood that I use in my work has been collected from the beaches of the Isle of Wight. It's been washed and dried before being turned into buttons, necklaces and stitch markers.
Oh, beautiful.
So I really like those too.
I'd like one of those ones. They're lovely. Maybe
You can have one of those ones. I didn't want to open them up.
No, that's fine. So that's the end of what we bought at the Southern. So we were quite restrained, I feel, and then we went to Unravel, and
and it unravelled.
It unravelled seriously. So where should we start with Unravel? We loved Unravel. We do love Unravel. It is like you know that there's going to be quality stuff there, and I have to say that we weren't buying. Like I said, we weren't buying. Trying not to buy yarn at the Summer Wolf show, and to be honest, I wasn't tempted that much.
No,
but at Unravel, I was seriously tempted, and that's when it went to pot, basically. So where should we start with Unravel? So if you don't know, Unravel is held at Farnham Maltings in Surrey.
And it's now twice a year.
Yeah, so it's...
they do a 3-day festival in February.
and a 2-day one in September.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's all sorts of people there, but they have like Pom Pom magazine and bigger things that you might
John
have heard
Arben.
of. Yeah, John Arben had a whole. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Whole room,
It was
yeah, and
brilliant.
Garthnell had a whole.
It was like you
room.
were in their showroom. Yeah, it was brilliant. So, and so many people to help you as well. It was great.
Yeah.
So where do you want to start? Do we go chronologically? Can we do? Can you remember? I think we did Telling Yarns first, didn't we? We bought from Telling Yarns.
I bought these first, I think.
Oh, and we went up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on then. I haven't got mine of those here.
So these were the first thing I bought, and I couldn't resist because I love some leopard print. So these are needle stoppers, and they're from the Lonely Knitter.
Lovely Laura. She's so lovely.
And I just love them. And I got a set for Sophie in a brightly coloured leopard
I didn't see you give them to her.
print. So
Did she like them?
yeah. So yeah, that's
They're cool.
yeah, I really like those.
I wish I'd bought some now. I wasn't buying anything at the time.
Yeah.
So
And then we went
I
to
might go on her website.
Telling Yarn.
Yeah, we did. Well, we didn't buy too much.
No.
But
Oh no, the first thing I bought was this.
oh, from Ted.
From Ted Knits. So this is a little bag that Ted Knits' sister makes.
His
The sister
yeah.
Maria Morgan, and she's Dolls Designs UK,
On Instagram and on Etsy.
and
We've bought her bags before.
Yeah.
If you watched our Unravel haul from February, we both bought her
yeah,
a bag then. But they're
And
so
I
sweet.
wanted-
Look at the little logo.
yeah.
Look. So cute.
I wanted a small drawstring bag, and but you don't find drawstring bags
No.
this small.
They're usually zips, aren't they?
Yeah, so so that
It's
was perfect.
Show the inside.
Inside's like just
You
a
can't
white on white flower. Can't really see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's going to be
That was your first.
that's going to be sock.
You're going to get a
Bag.
ball in there.
Well, I usually split into two.
No, but in that opening. I mean.
Don't see why not.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so that's that was the first thing I bought.
And Ted gave me this, which I don't know is a secret colourway. We may not even end up doing this colourway. I'm going to collaborate with him and do a design. So this is my little bit to try out some stuff and send pictures. But it's beautiful. Magenta pink, or whatever you call it. Bright pink.
Yeah. Then we went to Telling Yarn.
Yes, we did. Telling Yarns is
Lovely
Beth.
Beth.
She's amazing. Her aesthetic
Yeah.
and her colours, because she uses natural, like 100% wool. The colours are slightly more muted, aren't they? But she does do some dark stuff. She does a lot of Harry Potter themed things.
Yeah. So things we got were out of her bargain bin actually.
We
weren't
did,
they?
yeah.
So I got this skein, which is called Hogwarts Grounds, and it's 100% superwash merino single ply.
So she doesn't actually. That's
So it's in the bargain
She doesn't
because she
actually
doesn't do that anymore. But it's this nice. It's really neutral, beigey with a few little pops of colour, and
It caught your eye, didn't it?
It
And you couldn't
did.
let it go.
and I don't know if it's going to be a cowl or if it's going to be a hat. Or combined with something else to make a shawl, because it's not enough. I wouldn't knit a shawl
I've got some
on its
Kid Silk
own.
haze in that yellow, in the butter yellow colour.
So yeah, so that'll be an accessory in the future.
And I got two 50-gram ball skeins of two colours on her Blueface Leicester, X Small Blueface Leicester, and Wensleydale, which is part of the British Mill series spun at John Arben. And this colourway is Pale Asters, and this colourway is Sintra, and this is going to be my colourway cowl. So it's quite a low, well, it's a higher contrast. I picked a different one, didn't I, start with? So it's higher contrast than that, but it isn't the highest contrast, but it's going to be a floral motif colourwork. So I'm excited to get started on that. It may not be, I've got a few things to finish, obviously, sweaters, but they're going to be maybe long term. Anyway, that was So then we went to Little Grey Girl.
Yeah.
And we had a long chat, but we just bought 2 little Notions pouches, which actually fit a sock because another one of my purchases is already in it, so I can show you that in a minute. Yeah, so they are Notions pouches, but they will hold a little or the start of a hat or something.
Yeah.
Depending on. Yeah, so that's cute.
Then
we went to Stitch Birdie.
We got those.
Oh, we got those from the same place, from the
Lilliput White. She does.
I've got 2 and Joe's got 2. So
yeah,
I'm using mine already.
She does the rope. She makes rope bowls, all different sizes and little dishes, and these coasters. So we had
2 each.
2 each of the set of coasters.
Yeah, set of 4 coasters.
And she does bigger bowls with a driftwood.
Sophie bought one, didn't she? Yeah.
Driftwood handle and things. So yeah, that's really lovely. So then we went to Stitch Birdie.
I don't have mine. Have you got your badge?
Yeah.
We got the same badge.
So she very kindly gave us a badge.
Yeah.
Which we got the same badge.
We got the same.
And she does this amazing felt applique. And she does all sorts of things. Last time we got a
project bag each.
We also got.
We got a bird. We got the bird.
She'd embroidered a Fair Isle sweater on the bird, and they just.
And we may have bought one to go in the prize for the Cal winner.
Yeah,
so that's exciting.
So she very kindly gifted.
We may have bought one. We did buy one.
This. And then I bought this picture, which is from her 100-day.
She did 100-day. Is a challenge.
To do an embroidery or a piece of art every day for 100 days, and she did a whole series of these embroideries, which all different sorts, which she turned into stamps. So it's been designed like a postage stamp, and the backing is the inside of a like a envelope, like the letter you'd get from the bank or something, from the inside. So you can't. It's done so that you can't hold the letter up and see the writing.
Yeah.
And she's put that on the inside, and I just love this one. I really like the little pop of bright pink and the white. I'm going to frame that and have it going. I've got like
in your craft room,
a wall of art up the stairs.
Oh, that's it. So this is Stitch Birdie, and she's Lorna Reed. She's Stitch Birdie on Instagram, and she is the loveliest person.
Yeah.
So definitely check her out. She's so talented. I cannot imagine. Just going to show you. No, it's not quite the same. The one you bought last time, the stitches were tiny, sewing these little felt dots on.
So this one's Pixel Flower Pink. But if you go on, follow her on Instagram, she's got all the pictures of these ones up that she did.
It's amazing.
So this is original stitched art by Laura Reed. Lorna Reed, even, sorry. And then I also bought, because I couldn't resist, a project bag. And I love these colours. It's Butte Tweed, and she was telling us that after the Second World War, they started, was it the Second or First World War? Anyway, after one of the World Wars, on Butte, they started tweed factories
so that the men could come home
and have a job.
Yeah,
and they made coats and jackets out of the tweed, and then when that became less fashionable, they made it into upholstery fabric.
Wow.
And this is a bit of Butte Tweed that's been made into a bag by Woolen Flower, and then Stitch Birdie Lorna has embroidered onto it, and I just absolutely loved it.
It's gorgeous.
And we were talking last night that it reminds us of this fabric just reminds us of our granny. She wore a coat like this.
The granny that lived in Loretta Road.
Yeah, where the cowl was named after, that street. She used to wear a coat like that. And she always wore a hat.
She always wore a hat, and she always had a Murray mint in her pocket. She was
Childhood
lovely.
walks with an old lady with a hat
Granny.
on and a Murray mint.
When I was little, I used to be scared. If I got the hiccups, I used to think I was going to die. Be really scared. She used to give me a Murray mint and talk me out of it.
Yeah, so that was from Stitch Birdie. I was having a chat with her about...
We have got a theme going on with our...
Yeah, I was having a chat with her about perhaps doing a commission for a present for my husband for our 10th wedding anniversary. And we were talking about... He's Scottish, so...
Where you'd get the
a bit of a
from.
Yeah, a bit of a Scottish theme, and maybe have an English... a thistle and a rose.
Lovely.
And I don't know. So yeah.
That would be lovely.
If she does that, I'll show it to you before... once I've given it to him.
And then now becomes a bit more... we then had lunch, so we went out for lunch with our lovely friend...
I got this before lunch.
Did you? Oh,
No.
well. Our lovely friend Maggie
And her sister.
We went to the botanist.
It was her sister's first time at a yarn
I
festival.
think she was a bit overwhelmed. Or underwhelmed, because she's not that much of a knitter. But we had a lovely time with them, and then we went back, although Jo was right, she did buy these before lunch, so show them.
So I started off, I found these stitch markers, and they are semi-precious stones. Excuse the rustling. They're Dalmatian jasper, and I love a bit, it looks like leopard print, and as I've already mentioned, I love it. So I really like those. So I got those, and they're by Knit and Living.
Was that a stall?
I don't know if that was the stall or if that they were sharing.
Which one was it? The first one you
soon
came in?
Yeah, as soon as you came in the door.
I can't remember what the yarn was.
No. And then I also got this on their stall. It's Lang Mohair Luxe. How do you say that? Palettes. It's got these little tiny sequins in, and I'm going to use this as an accent yarn.
It was quite expensive.
It was quite expensive, but I'm going to use it on I'm going to knit a really simple grey garter stitch crescent, and then do some kind of picot fancy bind off with this yarn on the bottom. Maybe some bobbles or something
mohair.
With mohair.
Cool.
But I just loved it. I love this coral colour and these little tiny sequins. Just amazing.
Yeah, lovely.
So yeah. And you after lunch.
When did we get those? When did we get those?
When we came back.
Oh, right,
when we walked
okay.
around. But we went back to
Ida's house.
We went and had a chat with Max the knitter,
Oh yeah.
who was on a yarn story, a
Walcott
Walcott yarn
Yarns.
stall. So we had a chat with him, and then Ida's house was next to them.
Yeah, so we went. We love. I can't remember the name of the lady though. We love Ida's house lady. And I bought this unique sock. So that's how it's going to knit up, and you get 2 balls like this, and so they're the same. And then it says on the front they have free patterns online. So I'm wondering about if you have to make some increases for your calf. That's the only bit I think about. But I love it so much that it's gone straight in this little bag, and I want to cast it on. But I am like restraining myself a little bit.
Yeah, and that should be October, I think.
Yeah. So, but they're lovely. I've wanted some of this for a while, and I love blue, as we know. So I might just knit a tube, and then do afterthought everything.
Yeah.
So that's lovely, and that's the colourway, colour 64. Whoops, 64, and there were lots of colours to choose from. So not just blue, but that's Earth Yarn's unique sock.
And they plant a tree.
Oh yeah, so if they plant a tree for everyone they buy, you pay every pair of socks every kit you buy, and if you share a picture of your socks finished or in progress with the hashtag, they'll plant an additional tree for every post. So I will be posting a lot. Yeah, and then we got some. I haven't got my. You bought some more yarn. I haven't got my stitch markers like Joe's here.
So we were chatting to the lady at the Urban Purl,
Should I put them in here?
And her yarn, I loved every single skein. So pick a skein of yarn was so hard. And I was looking at it and I was like, should I get some? Should I get some? Which one should I get? And
You weren't going to get any.
I wasn't going to get any. And
then-
Rach was like, go on, treat yourself. And then this was the one that had my heart, which is actually called Bleeding Heart Yard. I don't know what that reference is, but I love it. It's a
heavy lace.
heavy lace.
Yeah.
It's a 600 meters for 100 grams, and it's silk and merino. And I was thinking that I would reknit my rhubarb fizz in it for winter, but I'm thinking I'm going to do something new in it.
Cool.
Because rhubarb fizz is very big in
Silk.
in 750 meters
Right.
and 1,200 meters of it. Unless I did it out of one skein and knit a hat or did something else with the other skein or leftovers, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just love that colour. I think it was so nice for
Well,
winter.
it's very similar to your Bird Street.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
you're thinking.
I think it would be so nice for winter.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I got
So
those.
let's talk about these stitch markers
Okay.
or progress keepers. So these
And that was
are-
the last
what's-
thing. Oh no, we've got Bird Street.
got
But
that
I'm not
Street.
Bird Street.
What's that? What was their store? Was it Yarn Works? No, Yarn. I can't remember what their
We'll have to look it up on the show.
Yeah, we'll have
on
to
the
we'll have
show
to tell you
guide
the
and,
other. We've got 2 sets of these star,
I'm using one already.
and then we switched. So I got that one from Jo, and she got a green one from me because I want the blues, and she wants the reds and oranges. So I got the orange one. You got red and pink. You've got an orange one as well.
Yeah.
So like a dark orange and a light orange.
Yeah.
But then you get 4.
It's 4 for £4, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
They were £8 for 2. So that's lovely. So we can't remember the name of the store, but we'll put it in the notes below because we didn't buy that many stitch markers, so that'll be easy to find. We missed out this one. So we mentioned John Arbon, and we did go to them, and I purchased. I wanted one of their, is it Knit by Numbers? Is it called? Fades for a long time. So I'll try and hold it in the fade.
Do you know what the overall colour was called?
The colourway is 70. It's 74 to 79. KBN mini. No, Knit by Numbers mini. So this is the label.
So are there some missing?
No, there's not. It's 6.
So why does it go 70?
978.
Where's 77? Oh, 77.
Yeah, there's 6 colours, and they literally fade into each other. And I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with it. Part of me wants to knit a yoke of a sweater with a bit of it, and then there's probably enough for another shawl or like a litmus cowl or something.
That'd be lovely.
Like the Orbits by Rachel Unwind Knitwear. So that's like a fade. Anyway, it's beautiful. And they gave me a little John Arbon bag, and I really want to go to visit when they have the next open date. It'll be next year now. But I'd love to go to do that. And they were so lovely, and they helped me because they only had the DK mini, like their DK full skeins. And I was like, oh well, have you got the 4-ply? And she's like, yeah, we've got the minis, not the 4-ply full skeins, but the minis. So yeah, I managed to snag those.
Because you wouldn't have bought...
I wouldn't have bought full skeins. I would seriously think about looking at that if I wanted a fade for a Hohi shawl or for a Stephen West or something. I would go and look at their yarn because it's merino. It's the softest yarn. It's stunning. So I've only got that and that, other than botanical yarn. So
We're going to talk about this.
Yeah, we can talk about the lovely. We met these lovely ladies.
You can see them here.
Called the yarn is Wool Decanted, and each year they produce a blend of different breeds. So a yarn from different breeds of sheep, depending on, I don't know,
The quality of
the fleece and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot goes into it, and she said it's very expensive. But they call their yarn vintage. So they have a vintage from 2020, 2021 and 2022. And then they dye some of them. They have like a set colour palette, don't they?
Yeah.
And then they have some they dye as that year's colour palette. And they're lovely ladies. So if you want to check them out, we'll put them down below. I can't remember. She told us what their names were. I can't remember.
Linda and Lisa.
Linda and Lisa. Are they related? Or no, that they used to work in the corporate. They used to have corporate jobs, and then they've left to work in the yarn.
And they live on the Thames.
Yeah.
They live on a house.
Oh yeah, they do.
On the River Thames.
Yeah.
And a lot of their designs and things that they've commissioned are river based.
But the yarn was beautiful.
Yeah.
It is quite expensive, obviously, because it takes a lot of work to do what they do.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what we were going to do with it, so we didn't buy any yarn from them.
And she took our information, and we were thinking that we might collaborate.
Yeah.
In the new year.
But they were lovely.
Yeah, they were lovely.
And then I shopped at, there's a local, I think it's called Internet Cafe in Farnham, and she comes and sells her stuff, and I couldn't resist this crazy Zower ball, because I just want autumn to happen now, and that's what colours, although of course, as we know from my sweater, you can't tell from that exactly what the colours are going to be. Yeah, but it does look very like it, doesn't it? Yeah, and that is colourway 2516, is it?
Is that sock wool?
Or is that the colour? 1151.
I don't know.
A bend. I'll write it in the show notes. I'll work out what the colour's called. This is
which is the lot and which is
so this
the
is a crazy wool, and it is sock yarn. So it's 75/25, and it's 420 meters for 100 grams. So, and you can't knit identical socks, a pair from this. You have to knit fraternal twins. But these, I think, are going to be my December cast on, or maybe November.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's that, and then apart from Tidy Yarn, I purchased this sock book from Pom Pom, which is, I think the book might be out, or maybe it's just at the show, because it's a pre-order. You can't download the digital version until middle of October, so maybe this isn't out yet. But Rachel Coopy, who's written the book, all the patterns are by her. Who's written the book. It's all about all the ways to do socks, how to change them to fit your feet. So it's a really good book, and a bit like the sock knitting Bible that I was involved with David and Charles, but different aesthetic and different. It's called Ready Set Socks, and she signed it. So I have a signed copy from Rachel, but it looks like I've signed it by myself. I'm Rachel too. But I'm going to enjoy doing that, and I'm just going to quickly show you my favourite ones. They're actually not in, they're in one colour. It's easier to see the pattern. So these, without showing you the actual pattern, these are the Gilliam sock.
Nice.
And they have a DK version, so it's really helpful for.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you are a budding sock knitter, or I definitely like knitting socks, this is a good book to get. We might talk about it more if I knit a pattern from it or something.
I had subscribed to Pom Pom, but since they're changing their magazine and the difference in the size, I hadn't got my paper copies. So I went over to the stand and just asked them about it, and they were like, "We'll take them now." So they gave me the last 2 issues of Pom Pom, which I haven't had a chance to look through properly yet.
Did they even check that you were a subscriber?
Yeah.
Oh, they did check.
Yeah, they checked all of that. They didn't just take me at my word. But yeah, so I've got some reading to do.
I've flicked through them quickly, and there's a couple.
Yeah,
of
there are some lovely things in
But
there.
who has time to knit all of everything? You really have to want to knit something, don't you, now these days, to find the time.
Yeah. Oh, the hat's nice. Right, stop it.
And then the last yarn we got was from
Bird Street. So she
No,
not Bird Street.
not Bird Street.
Botanical.
Oh my goodness, sorry Sophie, sorry.
Botanical. She doesn't watch this.
So let's show this one, I think, first. So we weren't going to do it, and we may still not do it, but Sophie has talked us into joining in the knit along, the mystery knit along with Stephen West, which is a twist and turns knit along. So should we just flash them?
So they're similar.
Very similar. So I've got this.
Mine's
colour.
a bit brighter than yours. Yours is a bit moodier.
Yeah, I've got
I think they're the same colour. That's your pot.
With my pot, that's my pot of colour, and you get two. You have two 200 grams, two 100 grams. Can you see it? See if I can get that way around. So I've got an olivey colour, and then it's got olive speckles in it. It's beautiful. And then your pop is
My pop is this paler olive.
That's one of those plastic pots.
Yeah, with and this is slightly more.
It's dark. It's grey, and it's grey on the base, lime green.
Yeah.
So yes, that's lovely.
So we'll
take-
see whether it happens. I might knit it, but after.
You're on holiday while it starts.
Yeah, and I don't think.
Excuse me, my voice is
I don't like a mystery.
right.
That's what I discovered last year. I just don't like.
Yeah, so we're going to we'll get the pattern.
So we'll get the pattern and then wait until it's done. I'll probably wait till it's done, and if I like it, I'll knit it.
And I
if not-
seriously can't believe that I'm casting on a 5 skein shawl with the amount of knitting I've got to get done before. But we'll see.
The other thing for me is that this would knit 2 beautiful shawls or 2 sweaters. So
I'd wanted, this is my favourite one when Sophie put up the kit she was doing, and I think actually this was everyone's favourite. So yeah, I was like, I gotta have it. So that was that, and then I also got this skein of yarn because I was initially going to use yarn from Stash for my twist and turns, and I have Sophie's and non-superwash, even though this says superwash, it's not superwash. Non-superwash yarn base in the salvia blue butterflies and the grey, which I can't remember the name of, which I should know. Is it Cotillion? That's Alcamilla Morris.
Cotillion undulatus.
Yeah. So this one hasn't got a name on it, but it's this lovely purple, and that was going to be my pop of colour. So now I'm thinking, because I initially got the blue and the grey to knit a sweater and a striped sweater. So I'm going to do, this might be my pop, my striped sweater.
Nice.
And then I couldn't resist Sophie always does a fade. Sorry for the crinkling. I'm just going to sort them out. Am I allowed to sort them out?
Just hold it.
Okay. So this is the Unravel fade that Sophie dyed for this autumn Unravel. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. And it's going to be a 2 skein, well, equivalent of a 2 skein shawl. So it's the equivalent of 2 full skeins.
Right.
So I'm going to do a fade, some shawl that's 2 skeins, one of yours probably.
You can make a nice harbour side.
Yeah, maybe I'll do is a harbour side 2 skeins?
skeins?
Yeah. Lots of bobbles though.
Not that many bobbles.
Okay.
You can do them with a crochet hook.
Okay.
Much simpler.
Yeah, so this is beautiful. So Sophie does have a couple of these left on her. If we post this in the next, it may have gone already, but it's worth checking out her website, botanicalярn.com. And yeah, we had a lovely show. That is it.
And it was lovely to see Sophie. And we also
So
met up
nice.
with some
Oh,
friends.
we went this time. Was it this time last year? It was October, wasn't it? Last year, not this time, but October. We went to the Belinda Harris Reid's Knitting Hotel in Devon, in Dawlish, and we were there with 6 other people, and we all made really good friends. And we have a WhatsApp group, and 4 of them were friends from, I think, near Faversham, and they came to Unravel yesterday, so we met them. And one of them was our friend Veronica, who I was gifting the Veronica socks to. So yeah, it was lovely to see them. It really made the day. And
we met up with Maggie, obviously.
And seeing Maggie again, and we saw Sally, one of our testers. And it was a bit strange for us. Happened, didn't it? We were walking down the stairs to go for a cup of tea, and this girl suddenly went, "Are you Rachel and Joe?" We were like, "Yes." She said, "I'm joining in your Cal." Somebody recognised us.
So if you're watching this, and you were that lady, thank you so much. You made our day, and we'd love to see what you're knitting.
Yeah, so if you comment on the chatter thread, just say, "I was the lady who said hi at Unravel."
And show us the yarn you're using.
Yeah, show what whips you're doing.
We'd love to see that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, so anyway, we had a lovely time, and now I'm not going to see Jo until possibly...
We might pop in on the way to London to go to fly to
But
America.
I may not see her until the middle of next month. But obviously, we will be FaceTiming every day. She's going to FaceTime me when she's in Webs, so I can see the stuff. Yeah, exciting. Right, let's stop waffling.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Thanks for sharing,
and thanks for if you got through this. Hope you may have done it in 2 goes. Have a cup of tea. Should have said that in the beginning. Get a big cup of tea. But it's lovely to share what we've bought with you, and hope we've inspired you to go and look at some smaller kind of businesses and things like that. And hope you have a lovely time knitting your yarn.
Yeah.
So take care.
And we'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, we'll see you in a few weeks.